Okay, another week. Always, I'm so happy. Hello, welcome everyone to the eighth episode of Quantum Talks, Bridging Worlds with me, Annie Anderson, and Marina Bramke. We are sending live now from Mexico and Australia. I love it, despite all the time difference. We show up here every week, and today we're going to talk a little bit more about the different energy upgrades that we've been having lately. I know a lot of people has been having different types of ascension symptoms going on, and Marina is going to let us in a little bit more about her experience this past week, which been a ride as I understood it. And we're going to take it from there, because if you like us are going through this stuff, it's nice to know that part first, you're not alone in this, but also today we're going to gain a little bit more understanding about why do we actually need to go through this stuff, because why can't we just continue on as always, as normal, and just expand humanity that way? Why is this actually necessary? And we're going to dive deeper into that. If you don't have time to watch the full episode now, feel free to support or save it for later. And let's go. Hi,
Yeah.
Marina.
Hello, Annie.
How are you? How has your week been?
Today I'm much better after a chaotic week energetically. I've been talking to you a couple of days ago. Just just for everybody listening, when you feel like really weird in your body and weird buzzing sensations, just know that you're not alone. And I thought I'm gonna share what I have experienced a couple of days ago. So first of all, what I often notice is that my nervous system gets hypersensitive. And when I say hypersensitive, a wind breeze can be a stimulation overload. And internally, I could scream. It's like that. And usually I'm very grounded and calm. I'm not like that. So, and then I felt like a buzz in every cell of my body. And there are different qualities when you feel energies in your body, when you feel this buzz. And that was a quality I haven't felt before. I also felt when I would touch my body, it wouldn't feel like it's my own. It feels more like a foreign object. Um, I don't know. I have experience in my life where sometimes I look at my body for like, is that even mine? Like, that's weird that I'm in this spacesuit, this human flesh
I
spacesuit.
think it's like when we are being, it's almost, you would think that it's something wrong, but I would say it's something more right than usual. You're just like, wait a minute,
Mhm.
I'm a soul in a body? How?
Mhm. Yeah. And I think feeling that and knowing that just shows you who you actually are, that you are not this body. You're just in it for now, for the time being, having this experience. Um, so when you have that awareness, you know that you're in a different state of consciousness, you know. And while I felt a lot of these physical sensations, there was no fear. I know that everything is fine with me, even though I felt so weak that I felt like I cannot even get up and walk to the bedroom, or I just felt like I'm busy experiencing whatever I'm experiencing right now,
But
and
that's a
everything is too
that's a
much.
sign that is a really, really big one, because
Hmm.
normally we could like still do things like we are experiencing minor symptoms, but that is a lot.
Yes, yes, and good that you mentioned that, because there are different levels of upgrades, and some feel, you feel emotional, or you feel sensitive, or you something is going on in your life, and some upgrades go to the real blueprint of your body, where every cell is shifting in some way. And that is what I felt like. Every cell in my body is modified, is moved around. I started to have pain in my elbow. I didn't move my elbow in any funny way. My joints started to pop. My joints don't pop. I felt like these different sensations in my body that are not normal for my body. So very interesting. And so I felt like it was like on such a deep level, these upgrades. And I had this feeling a couple of months ago when I knew from my higher self, I need to drink a lot of water. I need to eat a lot of vegetables and fruits and no processed food at all and no coffee. And it was just like, you gonna eat this because there is structured water in fruit and vegetables, and water holds consciousness. And to invite the new level of consciousness into your cells, you need to let go of the old one. So you're gonna flush your system with a lot of good structured water. And that was just like a knowing. So I also knew that phase was coming to an end. I'm definitely out of that phase, and now there's a different upgrade going.
So how much time do you think this upgrade lasted? This time,
the one from a few days ago,
yeah,
that was just a few days, full on. I feel like, am I on the other side or not? Like, I notice every week I have a new hobby, a new ability, something I want to practice. So there's still a lot of chaos. And when I say chaos, I don't mean that negative. That's the space where the cards are shuffled, new things develop, new things come to the surface. You let go of the old to be reborn to a new version of yourself. And just observing myself, I see that there's a lot of shifting and changing happening in the things I'm interested in, new things I pick up and want to try out. So I'm still in a phase where the cards are being shuffled. And I think when I see more stability in my life and my interest in my activities, then I know I'm on the other side of that period of change.
I'm curious, do you see any type of pattern of the things that you are letting go of and the things that is coming in, replacing those things?
Letting go of conditioning, then there's like one big belief coming up, and then you let go of it, and it comes up in a different way, and it still tries to poke you, and you let go.
I'm just thinking also, you said like, oh, I'm having a lot of new hobbies coming in, and everything carries frequency. I know we've been touching about those subjects before too. So I'm just curious, like, how do you feel about those things? And if you do feel like there is, just like we know with food, like, oh, this has a different energy, this has a higher frequency. Is it the same thing with the hobbies kind of thing, or is it just new curiosity?
Well, last week I was really into animal communication, and I did a lot of psychic exercise, and they were easy for me because I understood it is so similar in the process how I connect to my higher self. It's just a different destination I'm tuning into, and then it's really the same thing. And of course, that is expanding my abilities and my consciousness and my awareness, that all these psychic abilities, if you have a practice that works for you, go and experiment with it. And I do in the last months a lot of art, from paintings and now some wall art, not with paint, just with fabric and other things. And my goal is not to produce a product, it's just to have fun. Just to have fun and have it as an experiment. And the moment I get into my mind, so, oh, I like how this looks, the next painting I will do this and that, I don't like it anymore. Because suddenly it comes from the mind. It doesn't come from just pure creativity, just expressing yourself. So a lot is just higher frequency in the way that it's expression. And
It's amazing what can happen with that. Like I've been painting frequency paintings myself for a few years now, and what I channel, the creations that comes out, like dragon eyes. I don't even know how to paint dragon eyes. I didn't even know I was painting dragon eyes until I look back. So I totally know what you mean, and it's always letting that creation flow, pure creation. That's when it's coming through.
Yes, and when you do this process, like there is something you will recognize. What I recognized, so I was painting with watercolors, because I like that I can't control anything. I mean, people can control it, but I can't. I like that I can just let it flow and see what develops on the paper. And then I started to take a gold pen and go around some forms and shapes, and I noticed it looks like a map. And if you remember our conversations and other quantum talks, how I see planets and land masses from above, like I see the map in my dream time. So isn't that interesting? What I create is actually something that's very close to my heart, seeing these maps, these continents from above. So yeah.
That's really cool. Because I think we mentioned that sometime before too. Like, wow, if we could illustrate the things that we see, like I could do another profession. Like I could do that single-handedly. So yeah, for sure. Like it's so cool. It's amazing. I love it when it comes through.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So please continue. What other hobbies has been sneaking in lately? Is there anything else than the creativity? Because what I'm hearing is like there's a lot going on with the right side of the brain, right? All the creativity, all the channeling kind of part, not so much from the left one is the more logical, the more mental one. Have you seen a difference there too? Because I'm thinking when we are having our upgrades, it's full body cellular molecular upgrades. I mean, a few episodes back we were talking about me having a brain scan, right, by the Grace. So it obviously includes both parts of the brain and how we function, because we are both. Have you experienced anything about that too, or has it been just more focused on that?
I think it's good that you point out that it's all about the right side of the brain, because the whole thing is I don't want to be on my devices. I don't want to be on my phone. I don't want to be on my computer. When I'm on my computer for many hours, like I feel so detached from my intuition. I feel not like myself at all, like in a very negative way. And I just know that these electronic devices, they're necessary, they're part of our lives, but I'm very conscious how much time I spend, and I do spend a little bit too much time on it. So I want to do something with myself that doesn't involve any electricity. And I like to puzzle, you know. I can do massive puzzles. I just get into a flow state, but also I wanted to do something else. Like it's important for me to do something offline, and where I can just work with a different part of myself.
I just like so impressed that you're doing these grand puzzles. I can't even remember the last time I did a puzzle. It must be like over 20 years ago or something. Wow.
Yeah, but the thing is with the puzzle, like your posture gets very stiff. I feel it in my body afterwards. You strain your eyes a lot because you're searching all the time. So that's why I let go of that and like, let's do something else where I actually maybe like the product at the end. Because when I do a puzzle, I will just put it away or give it to someone else. Like I have no interest to keep looking at it. The moment it's complete, I will take it apart and put it aside.
Well, I'm just like I'm curious, like, because I feel like every week we're talking, you're like, oh, I'm trying this thing now. Oh, I was researching about that. I was trying this. I was looking down at my garden from the bird's perspective. It's like, oh, cool. Like, I never know what you're gonna say each week, and I'm so happy to be like first row about your explorations. I just love hearing about it. And so I think it's super inspirational too, because it is so important that we never lose this curiosity and we find those things. And I think that so many more than you are guilty of spending a little bit too much time on social media and our devices. Um,
Yeah.
but it's one thing that came into my field lately, which is also because all of this technology stuff and radiation, for example, how they emit these strong electronical impulses. And since I've personally also been upgraded my cellular body lately, I cannot have my devices too close to certain parts of my body. My body is like screaming from that place. And then I was watching this video by Elizabeth April, and she actually stated something super interesting, that the more the extraterrestrials are going to connect with us, and also about the issue of the planet being overpopulated and we would be able to live on other places, we will be more exposed to extraterrestrial technology, which actually has more radiation. So I remember back to like 2020 when they were gonna roll out the 5G and all this stuff, and all the spiritual people was like, no, like sign up the things, no 5G, we cannot have this radiation, it's all around us all the time. But the truth is apparently that we need that to little by little get more used to the radiation too, so we eventually can take part and use their technology without getting cancer and all this stuff. So it's not all bad, and I just love when I get information that it's like it's not all that bad. It's like, yes, thank you, because it's a part of the technological evolution too.
Yeah. But it can be challenging. Like when I hold my phone in my hand, like I feel pain in my hand. Like I feel that magnetic field. Yeah.
It's so like, how strong has it gotten the last years?
Yeah.
And it's not even always the physical phone, like it's the upgrades being done in the software on the phone and in our whole society.
Yeah.
It's all about the waves. Yeah. No, it's very interesting and a bit annoying, because if you're gonna hold your phone, it hurts your hand every time. Like, what are we gonna do about this?
And that's why I need something without a phone, without a computer as my free time activity. Like it's just
lead the way.
I just can't. Like even when I put my phone on my lap or somewhere, I feel it. I feel that magnetic field there. And if it's there for a long time, it's starting to interfere with my cells and I can feel it. And people are different. Some people have more resistance, some natural, some natural strength against this. But I'm definitely more on the sensitive side. And I bet like many people who are listening, and I wonder if you have experienced too. But even my energy field is interfering with the electronic of some cars sometimes. So if you find yourself cars, yes.
Okay, please do explain.
Okay, so for most of my life, I was terrified to drive because of, I guess, past life experience and other stuff in my life. So I got my driver license very late in life. But I was holding a lot of fear and panic, and I would just freeze when I was in a car. When I was on the passenger seat, not, but when I was driving, I would just freeze. And then the indicators don't work. They just stop working. And then my partner is driving and like they work. Then we swap back. They don't work.
No, that's so funny. That
Mm-hmm.
is so funny. Really. And it's always
Yeah.
been like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. So it was
I mean,
pretty
that
obvious
would be
over.
super interesting to know if you're ever diving deeper into the reasons behind that, doing a session with yourself. I know you do sometimes.
Yeah.
Like if that is connected, like if they are actually there doing something for you, that would be
Yeah.
super interesting to know. Super curious about that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was interesting because we could see that over a long period of time. It wasn't just like one day, it's working, it's not working. No, that went on over a long time.
Wow. And it's like, because I am immediately thinking like that's the physical parts of the car. Like if there isn't a physical breakage of some kind of wire, it should work. Like it logically, rationally, it
Yeah.
should work, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
Like,
But I would say it really depends on your energy. Like I had very strong emotions in my field. You know, I
yeah.
wasn't calm. There was a lot going on in me. So therefore that strong energy interfered with the electronics. And just for everybody, like it's important when you're in traffic that you feel calm in a way. And most people feel calm and they feel relaxed. And then if you see like the frequency is harmonizing with the other cars, you know, they're everywhere human beings in cars, and they have their energetic experience. If one person is in conflict, they just come out of an argument with a partner and now they jump into the car, their energy field is very incoherent. There's a lot of chaos in there. And that chaotic energy cannot get in sync with the other energy flow of the cars, which is common. So that is then when an accident can happen, because the energy, they can't just swim next to each other. Let's say that. They just, you know,
Makes
get
perfect
into
sense.
each other.
Really.
Yeah.
And I mean,
You can
I think,
picture what I'm trying to say.
oh, for sure, for sure. But then
Mhm.
you always know, like everybody had that experience. Like you're driving, you're having like a cool time, you're having, I don't know, someone to talk to, music, and then sometimes it's like, vroom, this crazy person is coming, in 200, and you're like, wow, okay, and then
Mhm.
poof, it's okay. Whoa, that person. What kind of mood was that in? Like, what's happened there? We see these so often, right? But of course, like that's I mean that's an extreme, but you don't want to mess with that thing. Then it's just like,
Mhm.
okay, hallelujah, thank you, thank you, everything is all right.
Yeah.
But it's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool because like about the car, I never thought about it, but like lately in Mexico, it's so funny when we're driving in the car. But this is Bluetooth thing, so like for me, it makes more sense with the energy interference with the Bluetooth.
Mhm.
But as soon as I'm trying to play music with my phone in the like connection to the car, it's interference always. It's like it's loading. It's like it's my offline playlist. It shouldn't be a problem, but always. And then my partner was like, it always happens with you. And I'm like, yes, my energy is so strong. But they were like, maybe it's the phone or whatever. But it doesn't matter. Even if it's his phone and I'm starting to take it or something, it happens. But he can hold it. He can have it next to him. He can have it in his lap. He can talk about no interference ever. It's just with me. And it's like literally like I'm just trying to listen to some music here. But I know it's true. I know it's about energy, but this is one thing. Like disconnecting
Yeah.
the blinkers is next level. It's really next level.
That's dangerous, especially if there is fear already. Like, that's not good.
Yeah, you could do
Yeah.
without music for a few seconds, but blinkers, I don't know about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if you sat in an electric car. Have you sat in a
Not much, not much, and definitely not since leaving Sweden, to be honest.
Yeah.
Everybody's driving around in Teslas over there, but not really in the other places.
Yeah. A friend of mine has one, and I just don't like it. I mean, you sit on top of giant batteries.
Oh gosh,
You know,
I never even thought about that. I never thought about.
And I've seen on the internet that a lot of people, I don't know the percentage, but they sold their electric cars because they feel fatigue after driving for a long time, and the EMF symptoms.
Come on, like that's so obvious. But I never thought about it. Oh, I never thought about it until now. I've always been like pro electric cars because of nature and all this, like many years back, even before we started driving them. But it makes so much sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Depending
this is one of the
on
parts
the
why we need
person,
this alien technology. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but I would definitely be more on the sensitive side, and as I experienced already. And when we speak about EMF and there are these geometric shapes, these technologies you can put on your computer or on your electronic device to neutralize the radiation. I have them on my computer. I have them on my phone for many years. It's not doing anything.
I was just gonna say, and
I wish I could say I feel a difference. No, I have
you tried
grounding
different
sheets
brands
also.
or just
Huh?
one? Have you tried
What?
different brands? Because I know there are a few different ones.
We bought like a well-known brand, and
Yeah.
I've even seen like advertisement a couple of weeks ago for that. So it wasn't just small brand from Bali, because there's a lot of that stuff there.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that nothing works, but in my experience, what I tried, it didn't work. We have grounding sheets. Honestly, don't feel anything if it's just really plugged into the earth. I feel like so much more when you want to ground. Do it with your intention. You can send your energy into the ground. That is so much more effective than sleeping on a grounding sheet, in my experience.
That is a very strong, interesting statement, I'd say.
In my experience, but please, if you have other experiences, I love to hear it, and I know that other people just love it. We bought grounding sheets and we plug them in. In Australia, you have one plug that goes directly into grounding.
Yeah.
So we did that, but we also, and the power socket was on, but it shouldn't matter because it's just into grounding.
It's attached.
And we felt like a buzz. Then I was like, whoa, we definitely felt like a buzz going through our bodies. But then we turned the power socket.
About what you said about Australia being with all the nature, like you do have a special frequency there. I'm just imagining it must be so much stronger in some places, and this is the place, right? Australia.
But though, then we turned the power socket off, and there was no buzz anymore, because a lot of power sockets, they're not really grounded. There should be. So we felt more like the electricity, like the electronic lines in our house, they're not properly grounded. So we were running actually some currents through our body.
Whoa, okay. Well, that's just a completely different thing. But wait, so let me get clear. You have a power socket to the grounding sheet, like that you put in a plug, in an electric plug in the wall.
In Australia, we have like three things, like 2 for power and 1 is just for grounding. So our power plugs look like this. But yeah,
and it's supposed to, no, because I know there is one here in the house, and it's not connected to the electric powers plugs. It's out through the window down into the dirt, like directly into earth.
Yes. Yeah, same. It should be directly connected into the earth. That's the whole idea of it. But why does it change the effect if the power socket is on or off?
Very
we,
interesting. This
you know, everybody out there, be careful and test putting it actually into the dirt if you feel a difference there, because don't run electricity at night through your body. That cannot be good.
No, that
And
cannot be good. Like that's why we shouldn't even have. We should always have like airplane mode at least on our phones, like, and this kind of
yeah,
stuff. And the different of the charts, like, and I know I'm guilty of this myself, but like in the nights I need to charge my phone, like, but the power, like the it's so much more when you actually have it plugged in. It's horrible. I know it's super bad. And then you need to have it on your nightstand or something, and like, you know. But I'm
yeah, I
even
know.
more happy to find out about this radiation news. That I'm just, working on that calibration for the extraterrestrial technology.
Yeah, yeah. We we do need some higher technology.
Yeah.
But it's coming. I think a lot of technology we got anywhere in the last 50, 60 years doesn't really come from us.
Yeah, no, and it's just gonna come even more. It's super curious. Like, oh, I'm excited in a way, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
There's also a super beeping sound here at my place right now. I don't know if it's coming through in the microphones, but let me
I can
know.
hear something, but I wasn't sure if it's some in the background. It stopped? Did it
No.
stop now?
It's somewhere from. Oh, it's a backing track. Okay, here we go. No danger. No danger.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
okay, back to topic. We talked about the upgrades. We talked about all this, streaming, all this technology. But we also promised to dive a little bit deeper into why actually these upgrades are happening.
Yeah.
So, can you expand a little bit on your opinion on that subject? Why do we actually have to go through these transitions, and why can't we just go about our daily life? Because like you said, okay, this past upgrade that you had was just for a few days, but I mean, it's a few days you have to sacrifice. Many cannot like just call sick a job and be like, hey, I'm having an energy upgrade here, I can't come in today. Like, no. Gotta go
Yeah.
about our daily lives. So why do we have to suffer through these things?
Yeah. Let's go back in history. And first I was hesitating about my suffer. I don't think
Yeah,
it's
I
suffering.
know. I know, but
It's,
I mean,
yeah.
to be honest, it's an exaggeration, but it's not always pleasant. It's kind of this thing we just gotta go through, pace through, and come out on the other side.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a pleasant ride always.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, yes, I'm getting an upgrade. It's like more like, I'm going through the upgrade.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, let's go back in history. Like, why do we need upgrades to begin with? Like, why are we not just slowly evolving with Earth and are in harmony? Like, why do we need these upgrades? It's I'm not sure if you heard of the 3 waves of the volunteers. There's a
I
book
have
by Dolores
by
Cannon
Dolores.
about it.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And I think you find the explanation in that book. So when we developed the nuclear bomb, the A bomb, we developed something that is not just destroying our worlds, it's destroying the fabric of the universe. It's impacting other dimensions as well. And there's this law of non-interference. So yes, we can destroy ourselves, but we are not allowed to interfere with other dimensions. So we developed on a lower state of consciousness, we developed this technology that is way too powerful for our own well-being. and also, it's interfering with other dimensions and other beings. So we need to be stopped in a way. Well, you probably know that our star being friends interfere a lot with nuclear sites and testing. They do not want that anything is going off, because again, it's distracting other worlds as well, not just ours. So therefore, they're here to protect themselves in a way and to protect us as a side effect. Our state of consciousness was way too low. We were so much in war and these lower states that they feel like they need to upgrade. They need to come to a higher state of consciousness. So they use the technology and the tools they have in a wise way. So therefore, there was the first wave of volunteers. When we say volunteers, these are beings. They don't have a history on Earth. They come, they have a higher state of consciousness and decide like, I will bring my higher state of consciousness into Earth and affect Earth, therefore, and bring up the vibration of the entire planet. So the whole society, whole humanity is rising in vibration. So the first wave were the baby boomers. Then the second wave was like about my age group, a bit older. And the third wave are the neurospicy kids with all the ADHD and all of that already, like their brains are already wired in a different way. So when we look at the first waves, like what do we have in common? Like we don't feel like we belong here because we don't really belong here. We hold a different vibration and we recognize that. And therefore we do feel like we want to isolate ourselves, protect our energy. The world feels different than our own energy. But that is really the opposite what we are supposed to do. We are supposed to mingle with the people. We don't need to do one mission of like, that's your purpose. I mean, the purpose is to spread your energy. And that means you're gonna go out and be around people. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to say anything. Just your energy field, your big high vibrational energy is impacting the society how it's supposed to. And that can be very difficult to come to peace with when you have a strong ego mind or conditioning and you say like, but I gotta do something. I must have a job. I must have a profession. I must have this big life goal. And then just to be told
Been
like,
there, done that, guilty.
Yes, yes. And your life goal is to help humanity with your being. So please do things that make you happy. Yes, but what it is, it doesn't matter so much as long as it makes you happy.
I think that
Don't
part,
isolate.
that exact part, is the one that is the hardest one to melt. I think, like for me, and I definitely do think for other people too, because it's like, okay, but then what? Like, I'm just gonna do things that makes me happy, but like it sounds too good to be true, we're endless, like you're saying, the conditioning and everything is like, okay, so like, because you kind of want to, honestly, this is connected to one of my first QHHT sessions too. That's what I brought in with questions about this too. And it's literally like you want to hear, like so many humans wants to hear, this is your mission, this is your purpose in life. Like an easy answer, like you're supposed to be a baker in this life. Your highest goal is to open a bakery and do that, and you're gonna like achieve your life goal and your mission on earth. That would be amazing to hear, right? But instead to hear like, no, you're just supposed to be spreading your energy, and then you're doing it, and then you can spend your time doing whatever you want. Be like, sorry, what? Like, it's not specific enough. What do you mean? Can you give me a hint? Like, it's so big and it's so luxurious, but it's so difficult for our human brains to be like, because we're so used in a way for society, for everything, people telling us what we're supposed to do. And then higher consciousness comes in and don't do that. They don't limit you. They're literally telling you that you are doing your mission just by being. and then you can spend your life doing whatever you fancy. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah. But when you say it, like, how does it feel if you would imagine that your life goal is just to be a baker? Wouldn't the ego mind also say, like, what? That's all, but I want to do more? Is that not what the ego mind is? The ego mind, yeah, is always saying, like, that's all, I want to do more. It doesn't
yeah.
matter what the answer is.
Yeah, I
And
mean, this is with us humans, right? When we do stand there at that baker in our own shop that we've been like striving for, and everything is be like,
mm,
this can be it.
yeah, yeah,
We can't do
and
it.
yeah. And you know, like, for a lot of us who have, you know, higher energy, and we often feel like we want to isolate and just be in our own energy because it just feels so good. um, but we're not supposed to do that. And if we don't mingle, that is also something I observed in sessions, you will develop symptoms, some kind of health symptoms that will give you an excuse not to mingle. Maybe some skin stuff, maybe something else with, like, look, I look like this, I cannot go into public. um, so you're really not supposed to isolate. I can guarantee if you do that for a long period of time, your higher self will give you symptoms and, like, okay, if you're not going out here, at least there you go, you have the thing now, and you think that's the reason, but that is just the manifestation that comes much later. So you're gonna go out anyway.
Wow, so interesting. I find this
Mm.
extremely interesting. It makes complete sense, and I do think that there will be a lot of people who might need to hear this very message.
Yeah, I had that with so many clients, and the answer from the higher self was like, oh, she's isolating herself, so therefore we give her this, you know, as an excuse. She can't go out because that's what she wants. She don't want to go out, so, you know,
Supporting that. Gosh.
supporting that belief, because the answer, the universal answer, is always yes. Whatever belief you have, whatever you want to experience, there is yes. There's no judgment. Nothing is better than the other. If you decide, I want to experience sickness, your heart's like, great, let's have that experience. The soul will learn so much. It's like, oh, I want to experience having happy family and joy. Like, the soul will go, like, yes, let's go experience that. Your soul will learn so much. The answer is always the same, like soul development. There is no good or bad, it's just different, and everything that's different is beneficial for your expansion. So
It's amazing. It's amazing the power that we have to create our lives, even if we don't feel like it. But I have a follow-up question on that, because yes, we are the creator. Yes, we receive yes from the energies, but how to put it? For example, uh, light workers, or what we want to call it, or the volunteers, as we just spoke of. Do you feel that they have the same free will maybe as others? Because I feel like personally hearing you speaking about this, like, yes, I love isolation, all these things, I can relate to everything that you're saying. But after a while, it's like my higher self is kicking my ass and be like, but don't you miss being around, like, I don't know, community? Don't you want to go to like an event or something? And then I'm like starting to run out to these things again. So I think for me, it's like maybe temporary recharge or something. But it feels like if I feel into it, I don't feel that I could. Something would be too strong, hold me against it too strong to go and like fully isolate, like getting a cabin somewhere and be like, no, I'm gonna live out here like the witch in the woods. Like, my higher self wouldn't allow it. That's like how I'm feeling. So
yeah,
what's
yeah.
your opinion about that?
I think it is a whole journey for us to learn how much self-isolation is healthy and absolutely needed, and what is too much. It's fine-tuning. Like you're gonna understand your own energy and know when it was a bit too much of one of the other.
Mm.
It's not black and white. It's not you're always gonna self-isolate, you always have to be with people. No, it depends so much on yourself, the environment you're living in, the people you surround yourself with. All of that is fine-tuning your skill set. You know, like if you go into a conscious community and you're surrounded by people there, you will feel very different than when you go to a shopping mall, I would say. I would guess. You know?
Obviously.
um, and and of course, we also need to recharge, and some people recharge better in community because there is a higher vibration there. Some others, like, they don't have that. They feel so much better just being in their own energy. Some others, they notice they give a lot of their own energy away to others, and it's depleting them because that is just a tendency they have. And it's better just to be by themselves, even for 2 days only, and they feel like completely themselves again. Some other people are not like that. They can be with others and don't give their own energy away like that. So all of that is, you're going to learn about yourself. You're going to observe yourself, what is too much, what's too little, this environment, that environment, this energy, and be the master of that at some point.
And isn't it true that we all have like different kind of biometrics when it comes to this stuff? Like, for example, like we cannot say that it's the same for everyone. Some people do have like a superpower to be like, you are supposed to be in crowds charging there, and some others are just not supposed to do that. They're supposed to working from the corners and the outer perspective, let's say. So it's not one thing goes for all. It's really like you're saying, yeah, we're fine-tuning our own abilities, learning more and more.
Yeah, and everybody is needed, even though there are so many people already out there talking about all the interesting topics, and you might feel like it doesn't need another person. Like, no, it needs you and your energy, because some people will love to hear it from you through your words, through your language, through your way of thinking. They can resonate with that, but not with the other ones. And yeah. So when you feel like it is part of your path to speak to a big crowd of people, absolutely. And others like myself don't feel that at all. And that's fine too. And we're gonna see it as like big teamwork. You know, we can't have all the same role. That won't work. We must have different roles and fit nicely together like a big puzzle.
Yes, exactly. And
Mhm.
that's the beauty of it. We all have a part to play. We all have a reason for being here. So, like, we cannot just sit back and do nothing. Like, the world needs each and every one of us.
Yeah.
Really, each and every one of us.
Yeah. And coming back to the waves of volunteers and speaking about the new generation, we can say there are 3 waves, 4 waves, 5 waves. It doesn't matter. But there are these waves
I was
of.
about to ask you about that actually, because in the book they're talking about the 3 waves of volunteers. Partly that is one of my favorite books. And
I'm having it right here.
yeah, see, the 3 waves of volunteers and the new earth. Dolores
Yeah.
Cannon, everybody.
Mhm.
Haven't read it, do it. You will not be sorry. But yeah, so in this book they describe the 3 waves of volunteers, and you describe them briefly. It's a little bit depending on age, and you will see what resonates with your mission. But yeah, it's been a few years, I think, since I don't remember what year this book was published, but there's been a while.
Mhm.
So,
Yes.
like, how many new waves do we have? Do we have
Yeah.
more? What do they do? Do we know their strengths? Do we know anything? I'm so curious.
Okay. So it was published 2011.
Ah,
To answer
see?
this.
Mhm.
A lot has happened
Oh, yeah.
in those 14 years.
That's at least 1.5 generation almost.
Mhm. And Well, every generation is born into a new soup of consciousness. It is like a soup with a certain vibration. And then every time new beings come in, higher vibrational beings, they increase the vibration, our consciousness. And I think we can all see where we are today compared to 15 years ago, like poof, all the way up. Yeah, I don't think we need to number these waves like according to those dates. Like that's very much mind-based thinking. Like there's a first wave, second wave. Like it is a wave. There's always beings coming in, and there's like, we need a couple of more. Let's go. Who's coming in? Depending what's happening on Earth, our state of consciousness, but it's not ever stopping. It's not you were born in these years, so therefore you must be Earth-based as a soul. No. And when we look at the younger generation now, they're born into an energy of electronics and internet, and everything is connected, and all that information is available because information is not stored in the brain, it's in the field. We just tap into it. Now we actually have all that information like floating through the air, since we have Wi-Fi and satellites like all the time. They're born so much more open, and very understandable that their brains are overwhelmed. Even our brains are overwhelmed, but they're still developing. And since they're developing within that field, within that soup, they will be so many steps ahead of us. What they can digest and comprehend and connect. So.
It's amazing.
Speaking about the upgrades that are needed, it's like, the newer generation is like a newer phone, maybe needs less upgrades because they come already with a new software, and we have a bit of an older software. We need a lot of upgrades to catch up with the energy of today.
Which is a really logical explanation, I'd say. When you're just having an older phone, you just need to do the upgrades, right? It's the same thing. Eventually, the phone gets too old, though, and you need to buy a new one. And I don't want to get into what that means for us, but
maybe that's when we have these really intense upgrades where we feel like it's on a cellular level. When it's like really deep, we get a new chip in there or something.
New hardware. It's not just software, it's hardware too. It's so cool.
Yeah, that's definitely what I felt in the last week, and also a couple of weeks ago when I felt I need to drink a lot of water. I knew it's working on the cells in my body. And I say that because usually I don't have that experience. I know the upgrades and I feel like it's more ethereal, it's more energetic. But these ones are so much more in the physical body, shifting things around.
I agree. And I feel like many of the symptoms you described was the ones that I think that I had similar ascension symptoms of the upgrades like 1 week ago. I think we talked about it in the last episode a bit. And so it is, and I think for many people, I mean, if we are having it just 1 week apart, we're all in different kinds of upgrades, but they're really like targeting the physical body right now, and it's because it's necessary with all of this going on, everything that we have mentioned, and so much more that we can't even fit into this hour of conversation. But I feel too, like, because I've heard you and your updates, and I've seen others also reporting on social media being like, whoa, there's a lot going on, all this stuff, and I've been like strangely good this week. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's great. I'm working a lot and just super creative and it's just flowing. I'm like, yes, thank God I had an upgrade last week. It's like when you got the flu and be like, survived, be like, now I'm good for a few months. We don't know if we're talking months here. Probably not. Probably days or weeks. But, that's the season right now. This is the season of the upgrades.
Yeah. And also what I didn't mention before, when I felt these intense physical shifts in my body, at night when I went to bed, I had a nightly journey experience, and and I could see like beings that were like working on me. And as much as I would like to say these were loving, divine beings upgrading me in the most loving way, it didn't feel like that at all. I don't know which ones they were, but they were very non-emotional and a bit harsh with
Yeah.
me. Like not caring that just needs to be done here, there, boom. Like I felt
Do you remember what they looked like or any?
uh, yeah, they were not grays, not reptilians, or maybe in that direction. Yeah, I would love
Could
to
it
say
have been
something
any?
else, but that's the truth. Like it was
I mean,
more of the ones
yeah,
we
sorry.
know as not so positive.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we
mm.
have, for example, like the Anunnaki was one of the first ones to mix DNA with us, and there are some of them who are pro-humans and some of them are not.
Mm,
So
mhm.
I'm not sure, but maybe it could have been
Yeah,
something related to that kind of
it could
direction.
be. I seriously don't know the race. I know it wasn't gray, just the build of them was very strong.
Yeah.
So Anunnaki would make sense. They have a very strong build too. Um, but I did not get a clear picture of their face. But yeah, the feeling of like they handled me very harshly, very non-emotional, and yeah,
As many of them do, actually, which is, yeah, mixed opinions about that. Not really.
Mhm. Yeah,
But
yeah.
as
But
yeah, to be
but
honest, like
again,
as we are the human hospitals, sorry, but the human hospitals are not that far away, to be honest. Like if there's an emergency or whatever and you're getting rolled in, like they have one focus and it's to save your life, and they don't care for small talk. They don't care to fill you in with the gaps necessarily. So
yeah,
just
yeah.
because I mean, just to make sure for anyone's listening to this, if you had an experience like this, like me with the Grace or Norina
Mm,
with whoever it was or similar,
mhm.
like even if they are feeling shut down emotionally or something like that, it doesn't have to mean that there's something bad happening. I just want to remind people of that it's like
Mm,
it's not it, that those things are not always correlated. So it could still be, and probably is, in your highest good, highest benefit for
yeah.
yourself. Probably otherwise you wouldn't find yourself there.
Also, like I never felt like any fear, like in the journey. Like I was more like surprised. It's like,
Important
okay,
detail.
why, like why are you like this? I didn't expect that, to feel beings like that.
Did
And
you see
when I felt this,
any experience for the exterior, or like, more than the beings, did you have any kind of reminiscence of the room or this place that you were?
pretty plain room, pretty plain, yeah, not very dark, not very bright, just yeah, pretty plain, a bit cold.
Yeah.
Pretty cold atmosphere, I would say. But that was the vibe with the entire experience. Um, yeah, just what you just said, like being in there, I didn't feel fear. I didn't feel like I have to fight anything. I was more like surprised that it would feel like this,
Yeah.
because my expectation was more positive. And also before, when I was just really going through the physical changes, I also had no fear. Like I knew that everything's fine with me. I was just curious, and a friend of mine offered to send me some Reiki energy, and I say no, because I'm curious, what I feel, and I don't want another energy to interfere with the experience. I want to have the pure experience
Yeah.
and
The
not
full
like a
integration of that part alone. Yeah. And have you
hmm.
experienced any changes after that, now that things are starting to calm down? Anything in your shift in mindset or thoughts or abilities or anything like that?
um yeah, not a big shift, just like struggling with myself. You know how we humans do, like in the normal way. I'm
Yeah.
struggling with the ego mind, and then I pull myself out of that quickly. I notice, what do I let in? What do I consume? What thoughts? And then it's very easy. Just stop and meditate, or listen to an audiobook, like a high vibrational book, you know, something you're interested in, and instantly your energy is different.
Yeah.
It's that easy. You're just gonna stop whatever is taking your energy, which feels lower vibrational. Stop it. And that can be difficult because there's this addiction to that, right?
Yeah.
But you're gonna do it and put something else on, and the shift is so quick. So you're gonna do it, and that's what I do.
And I think
And
also,
I know what's good for me. I know what activities I need to do, and that's why it's so important to really know yourself, because these things can still happen that you feel like you're in a magic dark, you know. But do you know yourself, that you then decide like, whoa, I'm here, but I know if I do ABC, then I will feel better. I can get myself out of that state.
yeah. And I think it's like it's habits. It's the more we do it, the more easy it gets. If you explore a few different ones, we find our favorites, our favorite good distractions. Like, it sounds so boring, but I'm just thinking about sugar addiction and all these things. Like, it's so hard to like take yourself out of it, but eventually when your body just like feels like, hey, sugar is not good for us, like you're not gonna want it anymore. You're gonna want something else. Like you're passing a certain stage. It's like, I don't want to have that raffinated white sugar anymore, but I would love to have a date or like some
Yeah.
natural sugar or options. I think it's the
And
same.
actually that you speak about, I like in the last week I drank coffee at home and I didn't feel any negative effects. That was interesting, because before I felt not great at all after drinking coffee, and I would have chocolate and sugar and I would feel okay. It wouldn't have a negative effect. And I say that because most of the time I take that and it's interfering with my energy, and therefore I don't enjoy eating chocolate. I don't enjoy consuming certain things because I feel the effect it has on me energetically. And that is strong. That is not a subtle effect. It's a strong energetic effect. But I didn't experience that in the last week. And I can see the energy of myself was very much in chaos, but chaos is a positive word for me as well, because anything is possible. Like the cards are being shuffled in that time. And now, like, I feel like no coffee anymore, like back to my black tea, which has such a different energy on my body. And definitely feel today like I'm out of that period. Already yesterday it started to shift. So when I just observe what I can take in and how I react, there was definitely something happening last week.
That's super interesting, and I think like we have touched about the subject a bit over the episodes, like about different diets and different frequency food. And I think there's definitely two sides. Like when we raise the frequency, we get more sensitive for sure about what to eat, what not to eat. But I also believe that the more we raise our frequency, and we get that, like we embody the new codes. Like there's no question about calibration, about processing, like the process is done. Then you have a new heightened strength of processing the things. Like you get a higher resistance to things too. And if you then with your mind be like, oh, thank you so much, this lovely coffee, like it's gonna be super nourishing for my soul, then that's gonna be the truth. Again, like you said earlier today, we're getting a yes, but we need to believe it and we need to embody that. We need to integrate the codes. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult, but it's possible. So it's just wonderful how we can physically decide and shift energies with what we're eating, but the more you stabilize and integrate that frequency codes, the more you can actually also sometimes go back to eating things that maybe you haven't been able to eat for years because of a detox cleansing you needed to clear out your channel, but now you're done and now you know that, and now you can suddenly eat that thing again. I mean, that's amazing. We don't have to go overboard, but like for me as a Taurus, I just love some things, and it makes me so happy. But we have just reached over an hour. So do you have anything special that you want to let us go with today? Any last words for today's episode?
Well, I think it was important that we talked about that it's enough just to share your energy, that you don't need to open a bakery or a healing center, or that's something I heard a lot from people, from clients, that will happen maybe in divine time, but also when you have an idea, you get an information in an intuition, in a meditation. It doesn't need to happen tomorrow. Okay, maybe that is something that will happen in your life in 20 years. Who knows? You just keep following your joy. And I think we need to talk more about that. Just being is enough. Being in our own energy, being our authentic self, because what you said before, it almost sounds like illegal. That's all. Like, I thought I have to do something else too, because the mainstream thought is like, you're gonna have a job, you're gonna do certain things. But the more we talk about that, the more people will hear it, and it will be an acceptable thought, and people can feel less guilty by just being.
And it allows more softness. It allows more, like, from softness we can expand too. Like, how easy is it to expand when we're in full contraction all the time? Like, that's not working. So yeah, I love that we talked about this. I agree completely with how important those messages was. And I can personally relate on such a strong level because I've literally been dedicating my past 2 years of this knowledge that you have been sharing with us today. So I know how important it is. I know how simple yet complicated it is to fully integrate. So for anyone who's been watching today, give yourself the grace to take it in. It's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. And we have this so much more conditioning than we believe, and what we believe that we have to do, which is not the case actually. So yeah, let it take time. Truly, it's not about a week's time we're talking about. Like, let it take the time that is necessary, because it's going to be a lot of different new neural connections that needs to be created for this to be fully on board. And yeah, but it's the truth. It's the truth.
Yeah, it's always being first, and so you are whatever you want to be. If you want to be happy, just get into the state of being happy in whatever way, and then from that happy state you act in a certain way that is aligned with that feeling, and therefore things in your life will unfold in a certain way. And a lot of people have it the other way around. They think they need to have something or do something in order to be happy. It's always be, do, have, and not in any other way.
I love that. That's a great ending for today. Thank you, Narina, for all these beautiful, very important messages that you brought to us today. If anyone wishes to share something about, if you agree, if you had any experience like this, have you read the book? What kind of volunteer are you? And if you have any types of follow-up questions for Norina as well regarding the subjects, feel free to reach out either here in the comments, or you can find us on Instagram, where we'll post all the links. You will find all the contact information. And please, if you like this video, if you want to support, press a little like heart button for us, maybe subscribe so you can stay up to what's happening every week. Every week we have a new subject in mind, and we are switching roles every week, so we get to know a little bit more about each and every one of us every week. And I love that.
Love it.
And yeah, have a beautiful, blessed week, and we will be back with new, juicy, wonderful, informational, magical experiences next week.
Yeah. See you all next week. Bye.
See you. Bye, bye, bye.